You know, I just spent 10 days doing the second hardest thing I ever did in my life. The first hardest was the liver transplant. It wins hands down. But the second hardest thing was 10 days in silence. I thought that the silence was going to be the hard part. It was nothing. The silence consisted of no talking, of course, no eye contact, no gestures, no physical contact. The object is to isolate yourself completely. There are people you can talk to that are helping to conduct the Vipassana, but so that if you have needs that need to be met, you have ways to be able to do that. And periodically having a short discussion, very quiet and whispered with the instructors. But otherwise, silence. Silence. In a beautiful setting, and it's not rustic, so it was plenty warm. And the object for the first 3 days was to sit on a little square pad with a little beanbag cushion and be still and quiet. That is the hardest thing. It's thoroughly uncomfortable. My body was in great protest. And while you're sitting there, all that you're supposed to concentrate on is this area right here. It's not that interesting. What you're looking for is what's there. Are there little twitches? Which nostril is the air going in and which is it coming out? Don't change it, just notice it. And let everything else go. And the object, that was the first day or 2 days, and then it got down to just the upper lip. That's even more boring. And my body was in great protest. I could not find a way to be still and comfortable. It was awful. So the third night I say to one of the helpers, do I have to get permission from the teacher to go sit against the wall? She says, I'll go talk to her, which she does. And I could go sit against the wall, and it's like, finally. So the next morning when I march in, I pick up all my stuff, which they took back for me because I was planning on sitting by that wall. They moved it. I put it back to the wall. And after that morning's meditation session, the helper comes and says, the teacher would like to speak to you. It's like silent meditation, and they need to speak to me. And she said, are you uncomfortable? Is there some way we can help? Yeah! So I got a back jack. And so the fourth day I was able to actually sit still, to find some comfort and sit still. And on the fourth day the meditation changed. The meditation changed to starting to notice parts of your body, just the scalp area. Anything going on there? Then the face, and then your ear and shoulder, and then your arm, and then the other ear and shoulder and arm, and then the front of your body, and the back of your body, and down each leg. And what you're noticing is what's going on there. Do you have any idea how many itches and twitches you have all day long? I do. And that's the object, is to notice how impermanent even those things are. So that all those little things that come up to the surface of your body, you go, oh look, an itchy place. And notice as it passes. Notice as it passes. Notice that everything is impermanent, everything is in constant change. Everything is changing. Anicca, 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 changing, changing, changing. Nothing stays the same. And just see what's happening in your body. And for 1 hour, 3 times a day, sit without moving a muscle, not a muscle. And after those 3 days of uncomfortableness, I actually fell into a state of noticing that underneath all the clicking and clacking and twitching and itching that goes on in my body, there's a great hum of vibration that is me. My skin, everything is humming. You can hear the blood sing in your ears when you are silent enough. There is a song going on a constant basis. Sometimes people add words. But the music is us, it's our body. And at the end of that, I noticed that I had lost all proprioception on my hands and feet and head. Proprioception is the awareness of your body in space. You know where you left your hands. I knew where I left my hands, I just couldn't feel them. And it felt to me like they were in a different position. Ultimately, when I opened my eyes, there they were, looking just like I left them. And I knew intellectually where they were, but I couldn't feel them at all. So then I talked to the teacher. Were you able to sit still? She says, yes, I was. What did you notice? And I tell her, and she goes, that usually doesn't happen till day 8. Well, I'm ahead of the game. 3 days of hell. And oh, look, I'm ahead of the game. So then you keep chasing that, you know. But the most amazing thing about all of it was just how I thought that at some point the conversations in my head would shut up. They don't. They never do. The words are always there. Always there. Except that, in that first time, I got this little bitty space of nothingness. Nothingness. Nothing going on in my mind. Oh, I said, that might be it, whatever it is. And the very last day, I noticed in the middle of all of that, sitting very still, that I got about 1 minute of being, eyes closed, but being aware of what all was going on in the room around me. All the movement that goes on, and not thinking about a thing. Not thinking, not engaging, not just being aware, just being witness. That, I think, is what's called one taste. I got this little gap in my thinking. 10 days. 10 days. 17-hour days, and 12 of them are sitting on your butt. So let me give you the schedule, because I wouldn't want you to miss the fullness of this journey. 4 a.m. the gong rings. 4:30 you're in the meditation hall, or you're meditating in your room. You meditate from 4:30 to 6:30, and then you can have breakfast. Breakfast, it's vegetarian. You'd love it, Elijah. Is the breakfast you have from 6:30 to 7:15, and then you have to be out of there. And you don't have to be back into the meditation hall until 8. But what are you going to do? You can't write a postcard home. You're not journaling. You can't talk to your housemate. It's like, might as well meditate. There's nothing else to do. Be sitting around doing nothing. Then from 8 o'clock until 9:30 you meditate. And from 9:30 until 11 you meditate. I don't know why there's a break there, but it's there. Then from 11 to 11:45 you eat, but you have until 1 o'clock, so thank God we all took a walk. And then from 1 o'clock until 2:30 you meditate. From 2:30 to 3:30 you meditate. From 3:30 to 5 you meditate. They don't serve dinner, but you have tea from 5 till 6. From 6 till 7:15 you meditate. From 7:15 for about an hour, there's a discourse on why you're meditating. And then after that, until 9 o'clock, you meditate. Lights out by 10 o'clock. It's a long day. It's a long day. And the whole thing, my theme this month is called, Do You Mind? It's about science of mind. Do you use science of mind? I do. And today, I really want to talk about the monkey mind. The monkey mind is that thing that goes from thought to thought to thought to thought to thought without us even being aware that it's going on. And the reason that I know that I wanted to talk to you about this is because I was sitting all by myself at lunch, and I had chosen to sit at a little counter facing a wall rather than sitting at a table with a bunch of people I can't look at. So, I'm sitting there having lunch, and I'm suddenly aware that I am doing my 17 multiplication tables. I have never needed the 17 multiplication tables ever in my life. When I used to sell steel, I found I needed the 12 multiplication table more than I ever imagined, so I kind of have that one down. But 17s, I've never needed the 17s, and I go, how did I get here?